Hi. Well, here's the video I've been promising you guys for a while. It is a little less than a year from the last video I made, and I am doing literally 1,000,000% better. I can't tell you exactly why. I wish I could. I don't know if it's time, but the big corner for me was at the 1 year mark. In saying that, there were a bunch of things I need to let you guys know about. Last October, which was 3 or 4 months after my initial video, I was determined to find out if my actual living environment was contributing to the intensity of my symptoms. So I planned a cross-country trip with my husband and my 2 dogs to Santa Fe, New Mexico, to a healing center. I went there and had a procedure called autohemotherapy, which is basically a blood infusion with ozone in it into your own system. So we went, it was a 2-week trip. We went by car from Georgia to Santa Fe, and literally on about day 6 or 7, after maybe 2 or 3 treatments, I started feeling better. Now, in saying that also, I was also out of the state of Georgia in a very dry, hot climate in a high altitude with amazing air quality. My husband had promised me prior to our trip that if I saw an improvement removing myself from Georgia and what I thought was the issues I was having with the climate, mold, just things that felt like I was reacting to, he would try to move us back north. And when we got back from Georgia and we saw the difference, it was enough for him to start pursuing a relocation to Minnesota. Well, I'm going to say that God's hand was in all of this, because he applied for a position, and we knew the week before Thanksgiving that he had gotten the job and we were going back to Minnesota. I can't remember if I mentioned in my earlier video that my dad had passed away while I was ill and dealing with the benzodiazepine withdrawal, and I was not able to travel at all or see him at the end of his life. And the last thing my dad said to me was, "When are you coming home?" And home to my dad was Minnesota. And I said, "I don't know, Dad. I don't know if I'm going to make it home." And I didn't make it home to see my dad, but I made it home. And that was in December. We made the move. About 2 weeks after getting back up into the frozen tundra, which it literally is. All of you guys, anyone that's familiar with Minnesota knows it's the frozen tundra. The rash that I had on my neck that they had diagnosed as mast cell activation syndrome, or, disappeared. A majority of my symptoms had been improving since the trip to Santa Fe, and just literally a lot of them just became whispers, just enough to let you know that, yeah, you went through this, yeah, it wasn't your imagination, but it's so tolerable, and my life came back to me. And the most amazing part out of all of it was the depression and anxiety that had been constant. And you guys all know what I'm talking about. The inner trembling, the abrupt morning waking, everything just kind of left. Work came to a point where it just didn't matter because I could live now. I could live. Okay, so here we are in Minnesota. It's freezing, and the winters are very long here, and I'm praying that they last all year because I'm figuring this saved me. This saved me. There was nothing to react to as far as environmentally. The new house that we have, you can tell by my new background, is a sunny, beautiful, a lot of light home. There's a connection to my father with this home. We actually found out after my mother passed away this May, and I was able to be here for her passing, which was amazing. I got to be with her when she took her last breath, and I feel like that was the biggest gift I've ever been given in my life. I know I mentioned I want to back up a little bit and be clear to you guys too about when I was talking about my husband and my sister in my last video. We went through some major marital problems. I'm amazed we survived, and I want people to know that it was the hardest thing we've been through in our 22 years of marriage. I feel and think about all of you out there that are in long-term relationships or any kind of relationship with people that you love, that and I know you realize that it tears you apart, the constant day-to-day battle with what we were dealing with. I also told you about a sister that had stuck by me and was supporting me on a daily basis. She actually dropped out of the picture last August because she decided that because she really wasn't, I guess she really wasn't believing what was going on. And we actually, when I was able to get back to Minnesota and help with my mother's care and participate in her end of life, I found out some things that had been going on with that sister, with my mother, and I handled it. I dealt with it, and it didn't break me. I was able to give my mom's eulogy and plan her memorial service, and I did it all. Granted, I'm still having some stomach issues, but it's not every week. It's not even although now I have to back up. That's about the only thing that is still troublesome. And in saying that, I can totally live with it. It's not going to make me stop living. This doesn't scare me anymore. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. I want you guys to know that all of us that have been through this, that are struggling through it now, that are in a place where you think you will never make it, you can't do it, we are the strongest, bravest people that I know. And it's an intangible. It's something that people don't understand. You can't say it's cancer. You can't say it's, it's something people can't see. They can watch you waste away in front of them. They can see that you're having issues, struggling with various things. But, it gets written off as mental. It gets dismissed. I'm looking back at all the doctors that were so dismissive to me, that were literally cruel in some of the appointments that I had, because they didn't understand what they were seeing in front of them. I really want to go back and pop some of them just straight in the nose because of how I was treated and dismissed in those appointments when I was going through what I was going through. Right now, the things that I deal with at all, and they're at such minute proportions to what they were, are slight ear ringing occasionally. have some early morning waking, but I can fall back asleep again. I have some issues with food still, but that's kind of been a lifelong thing with me. So, but I am able to eat so many more things than I was able to. The inner trembling, very occasionally. I do have some back pain, but I do have a history of severe scoliosis. I wore a back brace for 2 years growing up, and that could be just with the aging process. It's so much better than it was. My tailbone pain is completely gone, except if I'm sitting too long in a bad position. Like right now, I can tell I'm slouching, so I gotta put my shoulders back. You can. I'm wearing cosmetics again. I have a little eyeshadow on today, which obviously in my last video I was not doing that. Got my hair cut because I kind of care a little bit now. I feel I don't feel like I don't matter. I feel like, okay, take care of yourself and love yourself. That's, I think, through all of this, I've learned that when all the people, the mass exodus happened, and all the people in my life left, even though I was still Cindy, I was still the same person. They inside, and just was having such a hard time getting through just a very finite time in my life. People that had been in my life for 30 years, historically, I'm 48 now, so for the people that had been in my life, my whole life, my sisters included, because they didn't understand it, decided they didn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't know if it was a fear thing. I don't know if it was a, I'm not I guess I really don't know why the people left, but I know a lot of you are struggling with people that have thrown up their hands, turned their backs, but you have you, and you have the community of those of us that have been through this that understand it. And I just hope that the people that are watching me now, making this follow-up video, garner some hope from it. If you watch my speech in the last video, when I rewatched it, it's just like it was so hard for me to even string sentences together. Words just weren't flowing. I was having such a hard time with the functioning of my brain, getting out my thoughts, and that's gone. I am doing volunteer work twice a week with a homeless shelter. I'm mentoring a young woman who's 13 there, and I'm also doing a reading program there. I'm doing small dog rescue, transport for small dog rescues, and interviews for prospective families for dog adoptions. These are all things that a year ago I wouldn't have even thought I could do. If someone would have told me last year, Cindy, next year you're just going to be phenomenal. I'm riding bikes around the lakes. I'm going for walks every evening. I'm cleaning my own house. I wake up, I can smile, I can laugh, I can listen to music again. And it doesn't, well, it does a little bit get stuck in my head, but not like it used to. Just from one hearing, I have to listen to songs repeatedly now for it to get stuck in my head. I am able to go to larger places where there are lots of people now, like shopping malls and stuff. It can get bothersome with the fragrances. That's one of my things that's really still triggering some of my central nervous system activity is fragrances. So that's something that I have to watch out for. I'm able to go to movies. Light doesn't bother me. I'm in the sunshine all the time. I've been able to be around loud noises that don't send me and my nervous system into like shaking uncontrollably. I guess the best news that I have is time is probably a huge part for where I'm at. So I think all of you need to just know that given enough time, you're going to heal. Oh, one more thing, and I have to remember to tell you guys this. When I moved to Minnesota, I started drinking white tea again. Silver Needle Tea by Tivana. I drink anywhere from 4 to 6 cups a day in the morning. I feel like that has been a huge thing for me, and my healing, the antioxidants and what it's given to me in my body, um, right here. And I want everyone to know that I think about everyone that's suffering through this every single day. I'm praying for everyone, and I'm so glad that I'm able to talk to you where I'm at now and let you know that you shouldn't lose hope. Reach out to people still. That was my message. Reach out to a community that understands you, to your friends that still are holding out hands, and to anyone in your family that gives you the chance. And the people that don't, this process has shown me the people that have really cared about me in my life. And it also has taught me what I'm willing to and not willing to put up with in relationships. I am blessed by God. I am one of the strongest people I know. And I am so happy to be here to tell you you have to keep faith, you have to keep hope, you will heal. If I can heal, if I can come back, you can too. Thanks for watching this again, guys. God bless all of you and good luck.